Hi there, Christine. Yeah, this missile strike, ballistic missile strike by the Iranians started really in the middle of the night last night. We were actually on the air when we got word that the Al-Assad air base in Iraq had been hit. And the interesting thing about it was, Christine, that immediately Iranian state TV put up a banner that the IRGC, the Revolutionary Guard Corps, the most elite force of Iran's military, was taking responsibility for that ballistic missile attack. Very significant because the Iranians, for a very long time, have been saying that they've been working on expanding and perfecting their ballistic missile technology. They say they have a lot more of these ballistic missiles and that those ballistic missiles are very accurate. Also, of course, quite significant the fact that the Iranians are saying themselves that it was them. One of the interesting things that we've been gleaning since the killing of Qasem Soleimani is that the Iranians were quite taken aback by the fact that the U.S. actually claimed responsibility for killing Qasem Soleimani. In fact, Iran's foreign minister told me yesterday the Americans killed Qasem Soleimani and then admitted that they did it. That shows this is an overt aggression against Iran, and therefore Iran will retaliate. Now, you've already mentioned that Jawad Zarif earlier today came out and said that it's now up to the U.S., as he put it, to come to its senses and stop any sort of escalation. The Iranians are essentially saying they've hit back at America. They want all of this to end now. They don't want this to expand into some full-on war. They're also, by the way, clearly saying that the ball is now very much in the court of President Trump on where this goes next. The Iranians, of course, for a very long time have been saying they don't want this to expand, but they are ready if it does. In fact, Iran's military came out earlier today and said that if the U.S. now strikes back, there will be, quote, an even more crushing blow coming from them, Christine.
All right, so Fred, while all of this was happening, this news, a passenger jet crashed in Iran, a Boeing plane. What do we know about that? I mean, authorities are saying this is unrelated to the hostilities between the U.S. and Tehran.
Yeah, it's most probably unrelated to it, and it's one of those cases where so many things seem to be happening at once, because this is actually a major aviation disaster that took place only a couple of miles from where I'm standing right now. The information that we're getting so far is that this plane took off in the very early morning hours. I think it was about 6:30 in the morning here, local Iran time. It was a Boeing 737-800. That was only about 3.5 years old, from Ukrainian International Airlines.